How's it going, Leisure Freaks? Today I'm going to review the new Wrong Turn. So, did I like the movie? Yes. Should you watch it? Yes. Will you like it? Maybe. So let's go into some of the details. It was written again by Ellen B. McElroy, same guy that did the original Wrong Turn movie. He also did the screenplay for Halloween 4. Also did the movie Spawn back in 1997. Also wrote the movie The Marine. Don't enjoy it. But he comes back to write. He does a twist on his own original story, which I liked a lot. There's no mutant inbred. There's no mutant inbred people at all. I liked that a lot. I liked it a lot better than uh, the fucking countless sequels that were terrible, just god awful. Now, if you're into it, that's okay. In my opinion, I just don't like them. Alright, let's start with some things I liked about the film. First thing I liked about the film were the kills. I really enjoyed the kills in this movie. I really liked the kills in the original. They were creative, but this one, it had like a more realistic tone to it, which I really enjoyed. It was something that you could imagine actually happening in real life. Another thing that I also liked was the way that they brought the story in. So, I'm not spoiling anything here, I promise. I might do a spoiling thing at the end. So, group of college students go to Virginia to go on the Appalachian Trail. The townspeople know about people going off the trail being captured or becoming dead and disappearing, stuff like that. So we find out there's a group called the Foundation that live up on the hill, and they have their own little community. So the Foundation was a group of people that decided they didn't want to fight in the Civil War and separated themselves from society, making their own laws and own village and creating jobs for each other and stuff like that. So basically, it was like an old-timey fort, and it's still like that now. Dive in deeper, you find out that these people aren't actually bad in all reality, but some of the stuff they do, some of their ways are bad, if that makes sense. With that being said, I'm going to go on to the next thing I really liked. I really like the costume design in this movie. I really like the feel of the movie entirely. You never know what's going to happen next, and you don't know which group to trust. You don't know if the kids are right, the college students, if like maybe they're wrong the whole time, that there's no one really there, or eventually when they come in is the Foundation. Are the Foundation really doing anything wrong, or are the college students actually messing up everything there and getting themselves into trouble? And later in my spoiler part, I'll mention that again and explain that into more detail. So overall, do I think you should watch it? Yes. On a scale to 1 to 10, I would probably rate it a 6, 6.5. I really enjoyed the ending for what it was. Definitely leads up to sequels. I really hope we do get a sequel to this film because I think it would be a great two-part film series. I don't think you need to go past 2 to tell the story. Alright, so the rest of this video, if you haven't watched the film, or if you don't want to watch the film, that's fine. I'm going to give us a quick spoiler thing right here now. So, if you don't want to know, turn it now. But make sure you hit that fucking like button, or I'll follow you. So here's the spoilers, here we go. So it starts out, their friend is killed by a log flying down the hill once they go off trail looking for this fort. Ends up killing the guy, crushes his face so bad, and the prosthetics look so good. The guy's boyfriend gets really upset. So then the group starts to fight, you know, and then they start running to the woods. The strange things start happening, so they start running to the woods afterwards, after a night of camping out, just being stressed out. And you find the Foundation. This is when the Foundation first is like seen, like up close. They're all wearing like ghillie suits and all wearing like bone masks of like deer and stuff like that. And they're carrying the one guy, which I'm not even gonna bother with the names, it's just the one guy. The one guy is basically like tied up to a log and they're taking him somewhere. You find out where they're taking him eventually, but they're taking him somewhere with a sack over his head, and his group of friends find him that way, and they think that he's going to be killed. Now, I haven't mentioned yet that the guy that's tied up, his girlfriend also went missing, but you find out literally maybe 40 seconds later she's completely okay and she's been missing this whole time because she was pissing. He ends up bashing one of their heads in. after they drop him down. Neither one of them speak English. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if it's like an old tongue of them being up there so long or not. That still wouldn't make sense, but I just assumed that it was hikers from the before that decided to join the Foundation. They end up killing one of the guys, and then they're chased down by the rest of the Foundation to fess up to the crimes they did. So you see the girlfriend die, the one guy's girlfriend die that was gone the whole time and no one knew where she was. She falls into a pit, spike right through the chest, and is shot in the head with an arrow. Then they go up the mountain more and more, and they're trying to hide in the caves, and the Foundation gets a hold of them. Now, the way the Foundation actually takes care of their, like do their own jury and stuff's awesome. So they have their own judge and jury, and basically you're screwed. Like if you don't tell the truth, because they always have someone watching. It seems like they always have someone lurking in the woods watching the whole entire time. So they lie and they get caught. They get found guilty. There's four remaining at this moment. There's the guy that was tied up, the main character, her boyfriend, and then the other guy's boyfriend. They have to watch their friend now be killed the same way that the person from the Foundation was killed. So they literally bash his head in with a fucking club, and the only thing left is the bottom half of his chin and his tongue. It's awesome. The rest of them, they start with the other guy's boyfriend, and they tell him they're guilty, and they throw him in this giant pit. It's like a cave with a gate with just complete darkness. They brand their eyes and then just push them in there, and they basically starve to death and they can't see or anything like that. It's pretty fucking crazy. And before it happens to the main character and her boyfriend, she goes, well, we can help you out. My boyfriend does these projects where he builds housing and stuff like that for communities. And that's a plot point that actually comes into play, which actually I didn't think it was going to come into play at all in the film. The main guy goes, well, what can you offer? And she's like, myself. So then he becomes entangled with her, while her boyfriend basically has to watch all this go down and can do nothing about it. Talk about suffering. I think he probably would rather have died. Yeah, then we get this giant... The dad's still looking for the daughter. We have like a time-lapse type thing. Ends up hiring these people that are... He hires this hunter. Him and his kid. He wants to put his kid through fucking... What is it? Some dumb college. I don't know what it is. It's just a dumb plot point. Ends up dying within 2 minutes of knowing the main character's dead once they go up the woods. Main character's dad eventually finds his way up there, and for some reason they took a bunch of guns. The hunter and the dad took a bunch of guns and supplies, and he only took the pistol. He took a 357 with 6 shots after the hunter was dead. I didn't understand that part, but I mean, it's a movie. He gets up there, he finds it like it's nothing. Like, he finds it incredibly fast. I don't know why. And at this point, I'm like, what? This guy's gonna die. These people are trained to use arrows. They kill people all the time. They've got traps set all over the mountain. And once he gets in there, he shoots the gun a couple times, and then he gets shot in the arm with an arrow. And you find out that his daughter actually did that because she actually saved his life along with her life, because he was gonna like spill the beans like, yeah, well, my daughter wants to come back home and I'm here to pick her up, so it's time to go back. At this point, I'm like, what? Where is this movie gonna go? Are they gonna escape? Are they both gonna die? It's gonna be a weird twist ending. No, they get away. They get away and they kill a bunch of people while doing it. And I didn't explain this part in the spoiler because it's not really important until this point. There's these like rude, I guess you'd call them rednecks, rude rednecks at this bar when they first arrive in the town. And they actually end up coming to help and save the main characters, the dad and the main character, because his nephew was killed or something by the Foundation. They can't stand him. Somehow they drove a truck up the mountain, came with a bunch of guns, but yet I think there was 4 or 5 of them killed by arrows. So the guys that had AR-15s were killed almost immediately. The main characters get away with the one weird redneck guy. And the last shot of that scene is the main, like, mayor of the Foundation watching his well, his wife, they become married, uh, go away, and then we jump past maybe, I don't know, probably at least 6 or 7 months, find out that the main character is pregnant, which I was like, why wouldn't you just abort it? I don't know. It kind of felt like a forced rape type thing. Most people do that, I think. Then they make a small joke. They're like, "Hey, what do the boys want to watch tonight?" As she's dropping like coffee and donuts off to her dad, and the boys meaning her brothers at home. And she goes, "The Mutant Cannibal movie," and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sick and tired of that." Yeah, I think I think Alan was tired of it too, because he just made a one-off movie with a small like end credit scene. They took it to the extreme with all those sequels. The mayor comes back. The mayor of the foundation comes back for her and her child. So we get a cool twist ending where we see something happening that doesn't actually happen. So the mayor kills both her brothers, her stepmom, and then she stabs him right in the back of the head. She blinks and then it goes back. It was things all in her head that she thought was going to happen. So what really happens is she sends her brothers and her stepmom into the other room and starts talking to the mayor guy, and then she goes, "Well, I'll come with you as long as you promise not to kill my family." And he says, "You have my word." So then they walk out, get into a mobile home, and then drive all the way back to Virginia. They live in New Jersey. They drive all the way back to Virginia, and that's how the movie ends. I was a little upset that the movie ended that way, but I was like, well, maybe this can spawn a cool sequel, like just a two-part movie, like Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. It felt a lot more realistic and felt a lot better than watching the original film where it's just fucking mutant inbred people the whole time, making weird noises and licking their lips and teeth. It's like, well, no one... we would see someone... There's probably people that do exist that look like that, but come on. Not that bad. But, yeah, so tell me what you guys think about the film. I enjoyed it. I give it like a 6, 6.5. If you watched all the way through, congrats. I might have been boring. Hopefully there's some fucking images playing on the screen as I'm talking to help you out with a visualization of my bad explanation of the film. Tell me what you guys think about the movie in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.